Everyone makes moneyline bets without even knowing it. Even people that don't bet on sports make moneyline bets. Betting the moneyline for a game is possibly the simplest way to bet on sports, and this video will explain all you need to know. Stay tuned. A moneyline bet is a straight up bet on who wins the match. It doesn't matter how they win, only that they do. If you ever made a bet with your friends on the winner, it was a moneyline bet. Pretty simple. Okay, before discussing anything further, it's important to understand why the moneyline betting is so popular. First, they are really easy to understand. Profitable sports betting doesn't have to be complicated, and a moneyline bet is the simplest bet going. Predict the winner and bet, and that's it. Predict correctly and you win the bet. In fact, making complex bets for the sake of it can do more harm than good. The only way to make long-term money from sports betting is with consistent value bets. There is no relationship between intricate betting strategies and your chances of winning. If anything, there's more likely to be a negative impact. The more complex the bet, the more likely the bettor doesn't actually understand what they're doing, resulting in more mistakes, less value, and an increased reliance on luck. Secondly, they present easier value betting opportunities. That said, while it's easier, it doesn't mean it's necessarily easy. It's tough to actually spot value in sports betting. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it and making a lot of money. However, the moneyline does make it easier to spot these opportunities. There aren't multiple layers of information to sift through to work out if the prediction is a plus EV bet. All it takes is a few calculations. Now, sportsbooks don't pay out the same amount on every moneyline bet, and here's why. Imagine if Michael Jordan's 95-96 Chicago Bulls played in a friendly against 5 random guys pulled from the street and sportsbooks were taking bets on the winner. Not a very fair matchup to say the least, but what if they were paying out the same on the Bulls and the street team? Who would you bet on? Obviously the Bulls, right? And how often would you take the Bulls? 100% of the time. If you don't, you either don't know anything about sports or you don't mind lighting money on fire. So let's assume you want to make money and you take the Bulls. Now imagine that the entire world also bet on the Bulls and surprise surprise, they destroy the street team. What would happen? Well, the sportsbooks would lose all their money in a split second. So, sportsbooks alter the payouts to prevent this from happening. Remember, they have their own agenda. They don't want you to make money, as it means they lose money. In an ideal world, sportsbooks take the perfect amount of action on either side of the line. This way, it doesn't matter who actually wins the match, as they will still make money. Going back to our previous example, sportsbooks wouldn't be too pleased if every bet they take goes on the Bulls. To try and prevent people from betting on the Bulls, they will adjust the payouts. They'll make it so that you win a lot more from a winning bet on the street team and win a lot less from a winning bet on the Bulls. Sportsbooks continue to adjust the betting lines right up to the point where they will no longer accept any further action. The lines will continue to move to entice the perfect amount of money bet on either side. This results in sportsbooks pricing a favourite and an underdog in every match. Now, this next point is really important. Teams are only considered favourites or underdogs in relation to how much money is wagered. While they normally correspond to the actual favourites and underdogs, it's not always the case. Here are the moneyline odds for a match between the Ottawa Senators and the Philadelphia Flyers. There are multiple elements to break down here. First, there are only 2 options: bet on Ottawa to win or Philly to win. Next, both teams will either have a plus or a minus symbol followed by a number. The minus symbol always indicates the favourite, and the plus symbol indicates the underdog. So, in this example, the Flyers have a minus sign next to the moneyline betting odds, indicating that they are the favourites. Likewise, the Senators have a plus sign next to the moneyline betting odds, indicating that they are the underdogs. The numbers then show how big of a favourite or underdog that team is in the match. The bigger the number, the bigger the favourite or underdog. For example, a team at minus 200 is a bigger favourite than a team at minus 150. Remember, these numbers don't represent who the sportsbook thinks will win. The odds are actually in relation to how much money is wagered. Okay, great. Now we've covered the basics, it's time to explore some more advanced concepts of the moneyline bet. To do so, we must first understand 2 things: line movement and how casinos and bookmakers make their money. We mentioned earlier that sportsbooks aim to get the perfect amount of action on either side of the betting line, so they always make money. While this doesn't always happen, the closer they get, the more money they lock up. The sportsbook's goal is to get the correct amount of money bet on each side of the game so that they have 0 risk. Betting lines start to shift as more money goes on the money line. How far the line moves depends on the action on either side. It's all about the sportsbooks trying to get the perfect amount of money on both sides of the betting line. Imagine we had the following moneyline betting odds. In this example, let's assume the public thinks that the Chiefs are going to crush the Texans, so a lot of money gets bet on Kansas City. The sportsbooks see this influx of action on Kansas City, but need to even things up. As such, they shift the lines on either side to entice bets on the Texans. Sportsbooks make these kind of adjustments to slow down action on the Chiefs and entice bettors to side with the Texans. The line may move even further if money keeps going on the Chiefs, and similarly, the line may shift back if too much money goes on the Texans. These movements will continue up until the point no more bets are accepted. Let's conclude this video with a brief look at implied probability. Moneyline odds show how much you will win from a successful bet. They also allow you to calculate a team's chance of winning, giving you a quick reference for a value bet. And this is called implied probability. If you think a team has a greater chance of winning than the probability suggests, then you have found a value bet. For example, if the bet's implied probability says you must win 40% of the time to break even, but you calculate this is more like 45% of the time, then you have found a value bet. Remember, sportsbooks pay out more on events less likely to happen. So in this example, you'll be getting paid as if the bet is only going to hit 40% of the time. But according to your calculations, the bet actually hits 45% of the time if you're right. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more sports betting strategy videos like this. Thanks for watching.